Hi, hello, my name is Gomer Joseph. I hope you've all been having a great day so far. Welcome back to another True Crime Tuesdays video. If you are new, I welcome you. Before I discuss today's case, I just want to go ahead and mention that I have now started another YouTube channel. But in this YouTube channel, it will be pretty different from, this True Crime channel. This new YouTube channel will be about my animated multi-generational family drama in times like these. Before the premiere date, which will be Labor Day of this year, September 4th, I will just be making videos that go in depth about what this series is about. So if anything like mystery, romance, and drama interests you, then go ahead and check out my new YouTube channel. Today, I will be discussing a requested case of the unsolved case of Patrice Endres. This case was extremely sad. It's such a shame that someone who had a lot to live for had their life brutally taken from them. Her case has grown cold for so long, and it's really disappointing that nobody has been convicted yet. Now, I encourage you all to do your own research with this case and not just for the sake of my video for all of the information. Here we go. Patrice Endres was born on November 28th of 1965 to Richard Tambers Sr., and I just could not find the name of Patrice's mother. What I know about Patrice is that she was an active mother to a son named Pistol. She was known to be somebody who was a hard worker. She was fun, always smiling. Patrice loved people. She was actually an owner of a hair salon called Tambers Trim and Tan. She loved making people feel special, but later on in life, she married a man named Rob, who was quite a bit older than she was. On April 15th of 2004, Patrice is 38 years old at this point, and she's living in Cumming, Georgia. That morning, she dropped her son off at school after having a short argument with him. He really wanted to go ahead and get to school early so he can go ahead and meet up with his girlfriend at the time. When Patrice and Pistol arrived at the school, it seemed like they were able to go ahead and mend their differences. They said goodbye to one another, but when Pistol went out of that car, he did not realize that that would be the last time that he would ever tell his mother goodbye. Patrice headed to work later that day, but when her client arrived at the salon, the client states how Patrice wasn't acting like herself. It was as if Patrice seemed distracted. Later on, a client would call Patrice to change an appointment, but the client states how quick the call was. When a friend of Patrice's called, they found that there was no answer, which was strange because Patrice would usually answer her calls. Patrice had another appointment that morning, but she was nowhere to be seen. When a client arrived, they noticed that the salon seemed empty, and that was extremely strange to them, so they called the police because they felt like something was extremely off. Those who Patrice worked with also reported her missing because this just didn't seem like her to just, not be reachable. When the police arrived at the salon, they found the cash register open and saw that the money that was supposed to be in the cash register was nowhere in the cash register. They also saw that there was food that was supposed to get ready to be placed in the microwave, but the food was just right next to the microwave, and this belonged to Patrice. What was found in the salon were Patrice's keys and purse, but yet there was no sign of any forced entry. Her vehicle was also moved from one spot that she usually parks it in to another spot outside of the salon. Police would arrive at her son Pistol's school to ask if he heard from his mother. He stated that he didn't, and when he tried calling her, Patrice was not answering. Patricia's husband, Rob, was informed about her disappearance and questioned as well, which makes sense because usually in cases like this, the spouse is looked at first. Rob explained to the police how he was 45 minutes away from where the salon was getting gas. He had the receipt to prove it, and the police had to let Rob go because there wasn't really much physical evidence to tie him to Patrice's disappearance. Here's the thing about Rob. As for Rob, he didn't really have a good relationship with Patrice's son Pistol at all. According to her friends, it seemed like Rob didn't really try to get along with her friends either. Patrice's friends pretty much explained like it was almost as if Rob wanted Patrice all to himself. According to Pistol and Patrice's friends, because of Rob's possessiveness, it really caused a conflict in their marriage. As for Rob, he states that the relationship with Patrice wasn't as toxic as others pretty much stated that it was. So Patrice is nowhere to be found. The police began searching for her. Witnesses stated that they saw a black 1992 Chevrolet Lumina or a 99 through 2002 Ford Taurus or a blue Chevrolet Malibu parked in front of her salon. The FBI would get involved with the search for Patrice a month later. As they began investigating, they found that there was a fingerprint on Patrice's car. Doing tests, they eventually found out that it belonged to a mechanic who changed her oil a few days before she went missing. Throughout this search, there were a couple of persons of interest that the police were looking into. There was a man named Gary Hilton who took the life of somebody named Meredith Emerson. What really stood out to the police about Hilton was that he stated how his favorite place to go was a hair salon, especially during lunchtime, which is around the time that Patrice went missing. But there wasn't much proof to pinpoint him to the crime. There was also somebody named Jeremy Jones who sadly took another female's life. When the police looked into Jeremy, he claimed that he was absolutely responsible for Patrice going missing. He claimed that he threw Patrice into this creek. But it seems like he was trolling, because when the police looked at this specific creek, Patrice was nowhere to be found. On December 6th of 2005, Patrice's loved one's worst fears came true. Her remains were found in a wooded area behind a church in Dawsonville, Georgia. When her loved ones discovered that Patrice was no longer alive, this absolutely devastated them. Even though Patrice's remains were discovered, her wedding ring was never uncovered. Now, as to what I'm about to say next, I'm really doing my best not to sound judgmental here, but when, Patrice's remains were tested and then assembled, they allowed Rob to see her remains as some sort of final goodbye. It really makes me cringe is that Rob stated that when he saw her skull, he picked up her skull and kissed it, telling Patrice goodbye. Like, I guess to each their own. No matter how much I love a person, at least for me, like, there is just no way I am kissing or touching any loved one's remains. The even stranger was that when he received her ashes, Rob stated that he would sleep next to the box that contained her ashes. Again, to each their own. Since Patrice was no longer alive, Pistol and Patrice's friends began pointing fingers at Rob, especially since they described his relationship with Patrice as toxic. But to this day, Rob denies these accusations. If you are watching this video and you have any information at all, please be a snitch. Call 911 or the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, which is 800-597-8477. It has been about 19 years since Patrice lost her life. Whoever took her life took so much from so many people. It's such a shame that her son had to grow up without his adoring mother. My prayer is that God would comfort her loved ones and that they would seek God I also pray that God would provide them with the answers that they have been searching for all of these years. The God that I serve, the God of the Bible, is a God of justice. He knows exactly who took Patrice's life and will make sure that they pay for what they've done. I thank you all for taking the time in your day to watch this video. If you did like this video, please feel free to hit the like button. If you have any thoughts on this case at all, please leave your thoughts in the comment section below. If you'd like to see more videos from me, please feel free to subscribe and click the bell to be notified about the next video. If there is a certain true crime case that you'd like me to cover, go ahead and let me know. I will see y'all for next True Crime Tuesdays, and I will talk to y'all later.